y'all ever met a celebrity? Because I have, Miss Willow herself. She saw my work on Instagram, right? And she was like, oh my god. She didn't say it like that. She was probably like, oh my god, because you know her voice is a little deeper. She said, oh my god, I gotta have her make something for me. And she hit me up on Instagram in my DM. She said, what do you do? And she was like, hey, I like what you've got. Can you make me an outfit, please? She's not British, but anyways, so I was like, yes, absolutely, Miss Willow. Yes. So now me and Willow are working on making an outfit for her. I hope she likes it. She's giving me, you know, bad metal, bad bitch queen vibes, alternative vibes, rocker bitch vibes. So I wanted to make a look like that, but with like color, you know? So can you stop? Color boy comes up to me and he's like, you eat teeth? And I was like, no, I just accidentally ate my tooth. And as I'm explaining it to him, he's like, stop! Is that why you're so skinny? Is that why you're anorexic? You eat teeth for breakfast and you eat bones and this, that, and the other. And he's just going up on me. And I'm like, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. And then, mind you, this kid is younger than me and he was my neighbor. So my friend at the time, she's the fighter. Before I could even process what this little boy is saying to me, she's like, you're not about to talk my friend ain't the kind of way with the little boy. And so then we go into his door because we about to snitch. Because we was like, we don't play that. Because we gonna beat his ass if we don't snitch. So his dad puts his fingers together and whistles, and the little boy comes running like a dog. And then the little boy's like, yeah, Dad? And he's like, hey, are you messing with these girls? Are you making fun of them? He's like, I sure did. Who gonna beat my ass? And his dad's looking at him like, I did not raise you that way. And so my friend he tries to hit my friend, and my friend grabs him by his shirt, and he's like, whop! So did we all go to high school with a girl that pretended to be pregnant? So here's my story. The girl literally was my friend. I've known her since elementary school. So I remember one day she just stopped coming to school. She just stopped. So me and my little friend group was texting her, messaging her, trying to reach her. Like, girl, where you at? Where you been? It's been a month. So then there's a rumor going around school that she got kidnapped by a black family. Yeah, she was. So one day she came to school. But she came to school with a bandage on her stomach, telling us that her mom had stabbed her in the stomach because she found out that she was pregnant and tried to kill the baby. But the story didn't make no sense because she was like, yeah, I was 2 weeks pregnant. And we was like, how do you, girl, no, the math is not mathing. So then it turned out she just was in foster care and during that time. And I, to this day, still don't know why she lied. Yeah. Y'all remember that story I told you about that little boy burning down his house? So I got an update. It's not an update, but I'm gonna tell you about the last time I ever talked or saw him. So I remember he just had a problem, like home life. Like his mom was bringing home different men every single day. They would be cussing and yelling in the apartments all the time. So I remember the last time I saw him, he like came up to me and he's like, he had something in his hands, and I was like, what do you have in your hands? And mind you, at the time, he was younger, much younger than me. He was like in the 1st grade. I was like in middle school. So I was like, hey, what do you have there? And he's like, I have a kitty. And he opens his hands, and it's a black cat. And I was like, okay, where'd you get this from? He's like, I found it in the bush. I'm struggling. I found it in the bushes. I was like, okay, can you keep it? Can you ask your mom if you can keep it? And he's like, I'll go ask. So he runs into the house and then he doesn't come back outside. But he handed me the cat before he went back inside. And I was just like, what am I about to do with this little kitty? So then I went. He hands me the cat before he runs back inside his house. And I could hear his grandfather yelling at him, talking about, you're not about to be running in and out of this house. So he made him stay in the house. And I was like, okay, what am I about to do with this fucking cat? Like, what am I about to do? So then I go over to my friends and I'm like, yo, I got a kitty. I can't keep this little meow meow. So I was like, what am I about to do? So I remember there's a kid in my apartments and he wasn't able to play outside because he had leukemia. And so I went over to his house because his mom was so nice, so sweet. She let us play in the house with him because she knew he could go outside. So we would always be in his house. And I asked him, I was like, hey, I know so-and-so, you know, it's just in here. Like, would you guys like a little kitty? I found it, or I didn't find it, but some kid gave it to me and blah, 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 blah. And she was like, absolutely. I remember the last time I saw that cat, they were playing and their patio window was open and the kid was playing with the cat and it was just the sweetest thing. They moved shortly after that and I don't know what happened to him. So yeah, that was the story. Everybody raise their hand if they have like a weird turtle story. Okay, so one time, okay, this is when I was like way too young to remember, but my oldest brother, when he was like a kid, had these pet turtles, right? Loved these goddamn turtles. I don't know what these names was, but he loved them, okay? Regardless. So, oh shoot. So, I don't know why my mom thought this was okay to do to turtles. And mind you, they weren't tortoises, they were turtles, like in the water. And she one day just put them outside. And when my brother came home that day, he came home to dead, shriveled up turtles in the driveway. And to this day, I don't think my mom owns up to that. Like, I don't know why she did that. And yeah, so don't do that to turtles. Do your research before buying turtles. Yeah. Okay, so my mom doesn't like me telling this story, but I'm gonna tell it anyways, because it's a little traumatic, but I mean, it is what it is. So, this is the last time I ever got whooped. Okay, so at the time, my mom was dating this guy, right? He was a little bum, but anyways, I digress. And he had a daughter. I hated her. That's the gist of the story. So, she would come over to our house all the time, eating up all our food, being rude, being foul, being goofy. So, I remember my mom had bought some cookies from the dollar store, and the little girl was like, "Can I have some?" And I was like, "No." And then she's like, "Ah!" So she went and told my mom, and my mom was like, "Give her some cookies." And I was like, "Okay, fine." Give her cookies. I keep giving her cookies. And it's one of those generic packs of like the sandwich cookies, and there's like a million of them in there. She ate every single one of them except for like 5. So obviously I got upset, I got mad, and I was like getting mad at her. And she was like, "You're being mean to me." And I was like, "I'm gonna tell your dad." So she beat me to it. She was like, "I'm gonna go tell my dad." So she was like, "Ah!" And she, with her little gremlin self, ran into like my mom's room and was like, "She's not letting me eat cookies even though I ate them all." And my mom, I don't know why. I think something happened with her and like the girl's dad or something, because she just was like, she came into the room talking about who in here not letting her eat cookies? I was like, me. And I remember I had talked back, and my mom was like, "Who you think you?" And I was like, oh my bad, I was getting beat. So yeah, she just kept whooping me. And then I remember after that, I was like, I'm gonna run away. So I ran away for a little bit. It wasn't even like running away. I packed a backpack and I went outside and walked around my neighborhood. That's all I did. And then I came back home. But as I was coming back home, my mom, the little girl, my brother was like, "Where were you? She told me you was running away." I looked at her and I almost lit her on fire. This part 3 to that motherfucking gremlin. Okay, so after I got done, you know, running away or whatever, I literally come back home, and at this point in time, it's like nighttime now, everything's settled down. She comes up to me, I'm laying down on the ground just chilling watching TV. She comes up on top of me, over me, and was like, "Ha ha, you got beat. Your mom got, and I was like, and then she thought she had a point. She said something I cannot remember, and she was like, as she was leaving, and as she was like about to turn, or as she was turning around walking away, I don't know what possessed me to like grab her by her fucking legs and pull. So she was like, "Aha, you got," and she just fell on her fucking face. And then I got up, and I got over on top of her, and I was like, "Can you shut the fuck up? I hate you." And then she cried herself to sleep. We still cool now. The first time I had alcohol was when I was like, "Girl, cut the cameras back on." So the first time I had alcohol when I was like 8 or 9, and my dad, he was like, "Hey, do you guys want to go to a wedding?" And we were like, "Okay." Never been to a wedding before, so we drive down. I don't even know where we go. I don't know where we're going. It takes like an hour and change to get there, but we get there, and it was one of those weddings that had money on the floor. So as soon as I got there, I was acting like a coon. I was picking up the money, and my dad was like, "No, don't do that." And I was like, "Okay, my bad, my fault. Okay, never mind." And I remember my dad's girlfriend's dad came over to me. He came from like the adult area, and he was like, drunk. Mind you, I'm young. I don't even know how drunk people look like. So he comes over to me, and at this time, like, there's no drinks. I'm thirsty. So he comes over with the cup, and he's like, "Hey." And he's talking to my dad, kikiing it up, and then he looks over at me, he's like, "You thirsty?" I don't know how he read my mind like that. So he looks over at me, and he's all like, "You thirsty?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm real thirsty." And then he hands me with his cup and he's like, here, take a sip. And mind you, I'm one of those kids that like don't like drinking after people. First of all, this man's not even related to me, but I was like, I'm thirsty. So I took some sips right in front of my dad, and it took 2 good swallows. I was like, gulp, gulp. And I was like, ew, here, take this back. I don't know what this is. And he was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Because he's like, slow down, slow down. I didn't know what it was. How am I supposed to know to slow down? So then my dad gets mad at the guy. And my dad's like kind of getting into it with him. And my dad's like, sit down. Just keep sitting. And I sat down and I was all like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I can't control myself. I get up and mind you, I was one of those kids that never danced. Like, I was just such a shy and reserved kid. I get on the dance floor, I'm like, ooh, get into it with somebody's grandmother. And then I